having a flight in America is interesting with the amount of care that they take and lack of care that they take with regards to baggage. And maybe it's not an America thing. Actually, I'm flying Lufthansa. Lufthansa? How do you pronounce it? I think I did it right. Lufthansa. And it's just funny. I've traveled so many times. I've been through so many airports, and technology sort of catches up with the scanning three-dimensionally of all the baggages. So you could see like literally into your bag, everything from your hard drive to inside your computer. It's crazy. But this is my first time in a long time probably taking Lufthansa. I knew that the weight limit for a carry-on bag was 8 pounds, which is 8 pounds so light. It's crazy that how small that is. Oftentimes I'll overpack my carry-ons and just take a chance, and that's what I did on this occasion. I just have camera equipment and a whole bunch of stuff, and I split it between my backpack and my bag here. So here's my bag, and here's my backpack. Now, I also have this, which is always a good tip. You put your battery backups over your shoulder, and it doesn't count as anything. And oftentimes, your battery backups are the heaviest thing that you carry, right? So you're good to go. The other thing that you do is you wear your heaviest clothes, which I left my jacket at the house, but that's okay. But I wear a long sleeve shirt, pants, your heaviest shoes like your tennis shoes, and then you put your sandals in the bag. So I was hoping that when I got to the airport, I'd be able to just skate past. Sometimes, it depends on the airline. Lufthansa, no go. So I got out into the airport, and the moment I got through the airport entry door, I saw the Lufthansa check-in. And before even you snaked down the line of Lufthansa, they had a scale and a lady. And there was like 2 people in front of me, and both of them, the lady's like, I'm sorry, this can't be a carry-on. You have to either check it or remove some weight. And so there's all this sort of like chaos. And it was so funny because she looked like such a nice girl. Zara was her name. She'd look at your bag, and then she'd, okay, here, let me see. And then she'd weigh it, and then she'd look over at you with these doughy eyes. I'm laughing, because it's just what it is. If I want to check the bag, it's $80 both ways. So it's like $160 I'd have to pay if I checked this bag. And it's already small. Like if I knew that I was going to have to check a bag, I would have packed a bigger bag. Takes my bag. She says, no, it won't work. It's supposed to be 9 pounds. She said 9 pounds and you get a free check-in. I could check it in for free. But right now you're at 14 pounds. Almost like double almost, like at least a third more than it should be. And she looked at me sort of shaking her head. I don't know what you're going to do. And so I said, let me see. So I go and I start pulling things out of the bag. And I start pulling things out, and I'm strapping my shoes to the backpack. I'm putting my collapsible camping chair in the backpack. I'm just sort of pulling out the heaviest things I can find and putting them in my backpack, thinking, I hope I don't have to weigh my backpack. It raises an interesting thing, right? I mean, I could be personally overweight, and I am personally carrying 30 extra pounds on me, like right now, as a human being. I don't have to pay for that. A skinny guy that walks through might have an overweight bag, and he has to pay for that, but he's like 40 pounds lighter than me, or 50. You can have a skinny guy. I'm on 240 pounds. There's guys out here walking through that was in the lane, and they were 150 pounds wet wearing boots. I am able to bring this bag down to 9. And I walk back and I weigh it, and she's like, okay. And then she walks up to me, she's like, why didn't you just check it in? I says, well, I gotta pay like a lot of money to check it in, but you said it's free. She's like, oh, you bought the cheap ticket. And I was like, yeah, I bought the cheap ticket. And she's like, no, you're gonna have to pay like $80 both ways, and one way and $80 another way. And I'm like, oh, well, I was trying to avoid that. I had a thought that I was gonna have to do that, but I was trying to avoid it. She was really nice. She's like, if you can get it down to 8 pounds from 9, if you can get down to 8 pounds, then you can declare it as a carry-on. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with the extra pound of weight? She's like, I don't know, carry it under your arm or something. Again, we're wearing weight, as human beings. You don't have to worry about that, but apparently you could just take everything. So anyways, I took This bag, I opened it up and I took my sleeping pad out and I pulled out a couple of other things and I jammed them under my arms. I shoved them in my pocket, and I just basically emptied this one bag and put it into this human being and in my backpack. Now, my backpack weighs a lot. My backpack weighs a lot. In fact, I got a security check because they put it through the x-ray machine and then they saw something in it that I have some talcum powder. And they're like, and the guy lifted it. He's like, what the hell you got in this backpack? I'm like, well. So it's just funny how you can go to an airline and they can force you to take stuff out of your bag, move it into you and your backpack. They don't weigh you or your backpack, but apparently all they need is to weigh this one bag. Now, I'm guessing, seeing as though I passed through security and I got my ticket and I got my everything, unless they have a scale at check-in, which I'm not going to chance it, but I'm guessing that I could probably take all the weight that I just took out of that bag and put it all back in there. I certainly can do it when I get on the plane if I wanted to, like stuff all that extra weight from my backpack back in that bag. The total weight of me and my bag stays exactly the same. It's just where you put it that matters. Always funny to me. Anyways, we are at the Detroit Metro Airport. The journey is about to begin. I'm gonna make sure to separate some videos off. I've got a stuffy nose, and that's not gonna be fun. It's just not a cold, just a stuffy nose. It's very frustrating. But anyways, I'm very excited. Beyond my stuffy nose, I'm very excited. I have real jitters I haven't had in a while. This flight is the beginning of a lot more traveling. So we're gonna go to Frankfurt, transfer, then we're gonna go to Zurich. In Zurich, Hans is gonna pick us up. We're gonna go to Germany. We're gonna spend some time in Germany. Then we're gonna go do the SPEZI Show. I have 2 seminars there. And then me and Honza and some people are gonna do some cycling around Europe. But that's just the beginning, because as soon as I come back here to Detroit, when I come back here, the tour really starts. And that's when I get on the road with the van and the trike, and you know, a real journey starts. And you could watch my last video. I go into the details of like sort of the order of where I'm going, but that's kind of nerve-wracking and it's exciting as well. So my flight here leaves in a couple of hours, so I got a lot of time. I packed, there's gonna be some camping in the show. So at the show, they have a camping area set up behind the show. I was there in a tent a couple of years ago, I think. It was last year or 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, I didn't go to SPEZI last year. So I'm bringing all sorts of cool nature hike gear that I brought from China and that my friend at Nature Hike in China, you can watch a video a couple ago. While I was in China, I was at the Nature Hike facility. But I have a really cool 2-person tent that's really nice. And I have a chair that's like a quick release chair. And it's very small, very easy to transport. And so I have that. I have a Nature Hike sleeping bag, and I have a sleeping mat, but it isn't Nature Hike. I should have a Nature Hike sleeping mat, but I don't. I have camera gear. I have all sorts of things. The objective in Europe is just to have a good time, hang out with friends. There's no obligations other than my lectures. And yeah, it'll be great. Left a dog and the cat. My family member who's taking care of the house, Andrew, is going to be arriving back at the house. He dropped me off at the airport. Worked out really good. Yeah, so if you're flying Lufthansa, I can't guarantee they'll never look at your backpack, but in this circumstance, they didn't look at my backpack, so load your backpack up until until you're falling over. Otherwise, you're good to go. Should I put my stuff back in here? I don't think so. I think I'm going to go to the gate and see if they've got a scale there. If they do, then maybe I won't. But if they don't, maybe I'll put my heavy stuff back. Let's go. Let's go check it out.
Wayne County is the largest and
Detroit Metro Airport has come a long way. I'm in the old terminal, Evans Terminal, and I remember back in the day, this thing used to be in rough shape, but they've certainly done a lot of improvement on it. Yeah, they've got a lot of like different foods here and places to eat. Like I remember back in the day, this terminal was not one I looked forward to going to, but nowadays it's pretty good. They even have a Margaritaville that's out here near my gate, I think, right near my gate.
Attention terminal, if you're flying Frontier
I don't see any scales there, but I'm not going to take a chance. Let me tell you a little bit about how the video is going to work while I'm on this tour. I'm going to try and produce a lot of videos over the next 6 months, like some really interesting content, but I'm also going to try to deliver it quicker. So, like for example, this video is going to end pretty soon, and it'll be us getting on the plane, and that'll be about it. Maybe I'll film some. I'm not going to be a window seat, so I won't be able to film out the window. But we'll end when we sit in the plane and we're off. That way I can edit it in the plane and post it as the video for today on the channel. And then you're basically just going to be living through my day to day, and I'm going to try and make things a little bit more snappy. I'll also be recording better videos at the SPEZI Show and stuff like that. That might be coming later, but I also want to have sort of like this daily flow of fun videos for you to see what's going on as I move through the next 6 or so months. It is a packed flight. I'm always astonished at how many people can fit in one of these planes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
There's a lot more.
Think about the weight of all of these human beings.
That's true.
It's really crazy.
There's way more coming on soon.
That's amazing. And we'll be like 30,000 feet in the air.
Hi,
45C?
C for south to the right for
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Oh, sorry. I'm all the way to the back of the plane. I think I'm like literally the last row. But yeah, I apparently can't film in a plane that might catch a stewardess or employee. Gotta be careful. Anyways, I'll wrap it up. Like, subscribe, share. I'll catch you in the next one when I'm in Europe. Fun awaits.